Today we're looking at a deck that features Make Your Own Luck as a spell that lets us plot cards and play them out for free the next turn. So we're trying to plot out some cards that are a little bit expensive and then play them for free, and we're also trying to reuse our spells over and over again with Arcane Bombardment. Now our big payoffs are of course Bombardment itself, Ovika, Enigma, Goliath to make lots of these Phyrexian Goblin tokens. We've got Explosive Singularity to just do a bunch of damage at once. And then we've got Hit the Mother Lode, which just leads to some crazy situations where you either get a ton of treasure or you get another free expensive spell off of it. Of course, to get to that point, we've got a little bit of ramp in the Celestus and a couple of spells to help us survive the early game and find what we're looking for. The big key to this is, of course, Ill-Timed Explosion, which lets us wipe the board on 4 fairly often because we can discard lots of expensive things to it. Now, is this deck going to be winning any Pro Tours anytime soon? Probably not, but Make Your Own Luck is great fun, and the way it lets us kind of time our turns with Arcane Bombardment and other big payoff spells is really something to take a second look at. So yeah, let me know if you've been able to make this card work for you in the comments, and let's go see some games with this deck over on the Ranked Standard ladder. And let's get it started. Well, we've got to Make Your Own Luck. We're lacking the blue, but we've got a few turns to kind of draw into it. If we get one blue, we can maybe Arcane Infusion into something to assist with getting us to 5. I don't know, maybe, Duress? What do you take here? Probably Luck. No, Bombardment. I see you've seen my videos. All right, still need a blue. Maybe we need Impulse instead of Arcane Infusion here. I don't know. Jagged Barrens hits us for 1. Still plugging away with the land drops. Well, worst case scenario, we just hit the Mother Lode. Flotsam and Jetsam could be a way to draw out of this. So opponent's got a couple of deserts. Let's go Flotsam. Mill a couple of pricey sorceries. Let's draw with the clue. There's the blue mana. Let's make our own. Oh, God. The triple land Make Your Own Luck. So we can't plot anything. Gisa the Hellraiser from our opponent. Let's get land number 6 down. What does she do again? Whenever you commit a crime, get some tokens. And she kind of acts as a zombie skeleton lord. Okay. So Barrens hits us, and that is a crime. So she is going to spit out a good number of tokens then. Okay. Well, I think it's time. Let's infuse the Arcane into the fire. Not quite big enough. Let's take Make Your Own Luck. That's what we're looking for right there. Ill-Timed Explosion. So let's fire that one off. We draw Fading Hope and Mountain. Let's discard Reef. And I think hit the Mother Lode. Make Your Own Luck seems a little more consistent. And we've got tons of mana already, so that's not a concern. Rakdos joins up. Return target creature card from the battlefield with some counters on it. So Gisa is back. Do we bounce her now? Nah, I don't think so. Oh, I was going to say, just in case. So if we get Bombardment down, we can't Fading Hope Gisa. But Gisa also doesn't create hasty tokens. And if they commit a crime, that'll give us a target for this Fading Hope too. Oh, no, just going to smack us with Gisa. Fine. Alright, I think we play Make Your Own Luck to activate Arcane Bombardment. We pick up Hit the Mother Lode. Let's go Discovering. We hit Play with Fire. A very underwhelming Mother Lode, but we get 9 treasures out of it. Scry that land to the bottom. And we will plot... Let's plot Explosion. We don't have enough... Oh, I suppose we did have enough mana to cast it. That's alright. We've got enough mana to Fading Hope Gisa before she hits us. Let's go to attacks. Let's Fading Hope on Gisa. So this will drop us to 5, which I think is okay. We'll cast Make Your Own Luck and another Hit the Mother Lode. Mother Lode hits Bombardment. Fair. And opponent scoops it up. Good game. Okay, we're going to keep this. No blue, but we've got a Celestus in hand. And we do have a good chunk of early game stuff. Jadar makes an appearance. Let's pass it on back. I think Jadar needs to eat some lightning here. Wedding announcement. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Don't need to be getting hit for 3 every turn. Just trying to make our way up to Ill-Timed Explosion, I think. And then Make Your Own Luck following that. Let's get Celestus down. Suppose we could Fading Hope a token here, too. Opponent with another wedding announcement. So definitely going to be making the tokens. Let's go Make Your Own Luck now. Let's exile Revelation. Pick up 2 other things. So these 3 1/1s aren't hugely threatening. It might make sense to wipe the board this turn. Feast of the Victorious Dead. Okay, so when things die, something gets counters. We draw Singularity. Okay, I think now's the time to try for an Explosion. Let's discard Revelation and Singularity. Oh, not too many things there. So that hits the board for 10. We do still have a free Revelation, but we're kind of strangely okay for staring down 2 wedding announcements. So opponent gets 1 3/3 token, and that's kind of the... Ooh, Ovika. Let's discard Play with Fire. Let's play land. Let's get Ovika down. And let's do immediate Electric Revelation. We'll discard Mountain. Ovika gives us 3 goblins. And let's throw some goblins at our opponent. So our opponent being at 4 mana means Ovika's actually got a good shot at remaining protected. We could potentially start doing some expensive spells next turn. Ghoulish Procession. All the token enablers, too. Surprised we haven't seen a Mondrak yet. Opponent hits our goblin token with a virtue. Oh, and that puts a counter on the human. I gotcha. Well, let's start off with Make Your Own Luck here. Ovika's going to make 5 tokens. We'll plot another Revelation. Get some lands. Let's Fading Hope the token. Ovika gives us another goblin. We'll keep Bombardment on the top. Send everybody in. Dropping our opponent to 8. Who's the token deck now? Oh, depopulate. Opponent wipes the board and gets a zombie out of the deal. Oh, and the feast puts... Wow. The feast puts 8 counters on that. Well, let's get Bombardment down. Play this land. We've got a free revelation thanks to Make Your Own Luck. That'll activate Bombardment. Gives us a Make Your Own Luck. Let's exile Flotsam and Jetsam. Pick up the ill-timed explosion here. 1 mana shy of casting it, but I think that's alright. Discard a land to hand size. So we've got a Fading Hope for this token. Actually, really happy I've started putting that in. Opponent trying to remove Bombardment, so let's go ahead and activate it now. Alright, we pick up Revelation in addition to Make Your Own Luck. Let's go ahead and do that. Another Bombardment from the top. Make Your Own Luck grabs Singularity. Move some lands off the top with the Scry. And I think that's all we can do there. So Bombardment is down, unfortunately. And we've got a couple of things plotted here. So let's go Arcane Bombardment again. Start off with a free Explosive Singularity. Oh, we pick up the second Singularity from the grave. That'll do. Good game. All right. Well, this looks pretty decent from a mana perspective. Love having an ill-timed explosion for all of these aggro decks. That's one thing. Now, I will say I don't recommend that you necessarily try this deck. I think Make Your Own Luck is a great, really fun card. If you do try this deck, just a word of caution, you got to have an ill-timed explosion in your opening hand or a way to plausibly find one. Otherwise, we can get run over pretty quickly. So opponent on some black and green. Is that a... that's a Pillage. Pillage the Bog is so good. I was playing something else. I think I'm trying to figure out a Jund Bombardment deck, but I also mess with black and green occasionally. Pillage the Bog is very nice. Even if you just cast it for its normal cost, it's actually pretty decent. So opponent got a fairly standard opener here with the Dread Knight and Preacher of the Schism. It's a Revelation. Ditch this Singularity into the grave in preparation for a later Bombardment. And let's go ahead and ill-timed explosion these guys. Now what to discard? Let's discard a Flotsam. And Into the Fire is probably not going to hit too much. So the Dread Knight is going to go on an adventure. And we're set up to make our own luck on turn 5. It's kind of one reason I haven't really been including big score in this deck. Just trying to squeeze in as many big payoff spells as we can. But if we do some earlier card draw on turns 2 and 3, that tends to set us up pretty well for a Make Your Own Luck just naturally on turn 5. So let's see what we get. Speaking of payoffs, so we take Ovika here. Play with fire in the land, come to hand. So this should let us cast Ovika for free and then do a big spell right after that. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about this Restless Cottage from our opponent. Let's see what they decide to take out of our grave. Oh, they grab one of the Revelations. All right. Well, we haven't shown them a Bombardment yet, so they're probably not grabbing our big spells. Let's get land number 6. We can play Ovika for free. That feels amazing. And let's cast Bombardment. Ovika gives us 6 goblins. Let's send in 4 goblins. I have the distinct feeling that Ovika is going to bite the dust And we can at least keep some blockers for this land and the Preacher. Black and green, notorious for being able to remove all of my stuff. Looks like going to combat, coming over with the Preacher. Most likely for the card draw. Let's trade a Goblin. We'll just chump that. Not worth losing Ovika on the block. I see. Gix's command. So that wipes all the small ones away and takes care of Ovika with the sacrifice mode. We draw Celestus. Alright, well, Ovika's gone. But we still got Bombardment. Let's make our own luck. And let's do it again. Oh, the 3-lander. So disheartening. And we make our own luck into a third. Make our own luck. Plenty of luck to go around, but unfortunately not until next turn. Let's discard some extra lands we got here. And we've got 1 mana left over. Sorry, 2 mana left over, but we only need 1 to activate Bombardment again with Play with Fire. We're a little vulnerable to this Restless Cottage. Opponent plays a bat. It's going to take a look at this hand. So if we let him get away with this, we can get rid of the bat later, but I kind of want to activate Bombardment anyway. So let's just go ahead and Play with Fire the bat. Would much rather... We are making so much luck this game. 2 copies of that. Oh, we finally pick up Singularity out of the grave. Or no, wait, that was plotted. Opponent sees too many free spells coming. Good game. Wow, we've got all our colors here. We're going to keep this. Opponent's starting off with a Plains. Let's start off with a Cascade. An early Fading Hope, not as important since we do have the ill-timed explosion. What are we plotting? The Show-Off. I've heard a lot of complaints about the Show-Off online, but I can't say I've actually lost to that card too many times. We'll see how it goes. Let's Impulse here. Well, let's take the Mountain. Glad to be removing those 4 lands from the top. We draw Bombardment. Let's play Rockfall Vale. Could Into the Fire here, but I don't know. We got Explosion. We know opponent's going to be playing Show Off and probably some spells on it. Let's try to keep up Fading Hope. Maybe we can mess with him a little bit. All right. Free Show Off. So Show Off going to start killing fiending here. Demonic Ruckus. Monstrous Rage. And the white is for, what, the +1 counterspell? No, Lauren's Escape. All right, let's try the Fading Hope here. Oh, do they have another Escape? Oh, no. Oh, what are we going to get hit with here? All right, well, we're getting hit for 13. That's the bad news. Good news is we're not dead. Let's try for an ill-timed explosion here. Okay, let's discard the other explosion and Celestus. Opponent empty-handed, so no kind of reactions to this. They will draw off the Ruckus, which isn't great. But we're not out of this. We're not out of this one yet. All right, 5 mana. Let's do a mini wheel with Into the Fire. Let's get rid of Jetsam and the other Into the Fire. If we end up Jetsaming our opponent, I don't think we're going to get anything useful for our strategy. It's not like we're going to pull off, you know, an Atali or some giant angel, that kind of thing. It'll be another demonic ruckus, which we can't play. Let's get bombardment down here while we got a little window. Opponent passing it back, so it could be sitting on a few more ruckuses in hand with no creature to cast it on. At least is my guess. Alright, a few things in the grave that we can use. Let's pass it back to our opponent, though. If they do have a creature to play, well, they kind of do. It's a Kumano. Love to be able to react to that. Passing. Alright, let's play with Fire the Face, then. We get Explosion. Let's do that. Let's draw 2. Decline the discard. Atraxa's Fall on the top. Yeah, let's keep that. So that's a sorcery. Let's use that to get rid of Kumano. Activate Bombardment. Another ill-timed explosion. Well, it's a draw 2 every time. Let's decline the discard. We can hit the Mother Lode here. It's kind of nice. So it does feel a little bit like Burn Down the House in that if you don't need to wipe the board, it's still pretty decent. Doesn't give you devils, but it's kind of how it feels. All right, let's pitch that land. Opponent doing anything? No. Well, let's Revelation keep this train going. Looked like Fading Hope the pickup there, so let's just Explosion, draw a couple of cards. There's a Lightning Strike. And Revelation finds us Jetsam and a land. Well, if we hit the Mother Lode, we can Lightning Strike on the opponent's turn, so let's go for it. We get Revelation. All the card draw. Alright, I think we can draw 2 here, and we'll just decline the rest. And I'll just go ahead and discard some of these lands. We'll do 0 damage to everything. We're going to have to discard anyway. Let's make our own luck. Ooh, into Singularity. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And let's finally discard even more lands. Not gonna lie, I think this is gonna be a tough one for our opponent to win if they don't have a whole bunch of draw and to burn, and there they go. Good game. Alright, we're keeping this. All of our colors, cheap spells. Dryad's Revival, not great, but the rest of it's pretty good. Hey, Bristly Bill. Sorry, Bill. We gotta play with Fire You. Bristly Bill just fills me with an unreasonable amount of joy when I saw that card spoiled. There was a moment of like, are you serious? Another Bristly Bill? I love you, opponent. I'm really sorry I have to do this to Bill. Lightning Strike. I mean, the concept of Cactus Folk, the fact that his name is Bristly Bill, you know, we play a lovely, goofy game, and I'm glad they're leaning into it. Also reminds me of obscure cartoon show from probably the 90s. Wasn't there a Blinky Bill cartoon? I thought I remember seeing that somewhere. Anyway. While we have dashed our opponent's hope of Bristly Bill, let's figure out what is going on. What is... Ooh, Brawler. Brawler is a scary card. So if they Brawler and then immediately play a creature, they can go ahead and get that bonus. Alright, Brawler. Wizards loves playing giant rhinos, or printing giant rhinos at 5 mana. Okay, so Merge Keeper gets some counters. Let's try for the explosion here. A few big things to choose from. Let's discard a Singularity and a Make Your Own Luck. Alright, that clears the board. Keep and Hit the Mother Lode because it feels like we may actually naturally draw into 7, and it'd be kind of fun to just cast that. Kami of Whispered Hopes. Great card to put counters on. Oh, and Make Your Own Luck finds us only lands. Only lands. Archdruid's Charm. Heard good things about that card, but haven't really tested it that much. They grab an Argoth. Does that mean they have a Titania in hand? Could be. Well, I think it's time to spin the wheel. Let's go discovering Celestus and 7 treasures. Not the worst, I suppose. Come on, Bristly Bill number 3. No, well, that's pretty good. The Zopandrel are going to double up some power and toughness. Let's go with an Impulse here, try to find something. Guess we'll take Flotsam and Jetsam. Could grab a big creature from our opponent. And what do we got down here? Alright, well, we've got lots of mana thanks to these treasures. So let's do Dryad's Revival. Let's grab Hit the Mother Lode again. Let's cast it. Make Your Own Luck. Alright, let's do that. Ill-timed Explosion. So now we just gotta survive until we can play that. So assuming they don't have anything hasty, I think we can survive this turn. Or a way to put a ton of counters on something. Jugon defends the temple, so they're going to make a monk. So they need to sacrifice 2 other creatures to keep that alive. The Dominus, I mean. What are we looking for here with the charm? So they've got their creatures. They have to pay what? Just 4 life to do that? If they're tapped out, they get Tyranax Rex. So even if we do wipe this board, we're kind of in trouble. We're going to take 10 from this attack. Kind of a puzzler. We draw Revelation. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think it's great. But we're going to try for the ill-timed explosion here. If we can at least clear off the board a little bit, maybe we can find a Fading Hope to take care of the Dominus or Tyranax. Kind of on an individual basis. We'll discard Jetsam. Hit everybody for 8. Expect to see... No. Why didn't they sack the creatures there? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they needed mana for that? I'm confused. Let's do Into the Fire. See if we can't come up with something better to deal with Tyranax. Ovika. 1, 2... So opponent needs 7 mana to cast Tyranax. It's got Trample. Let's play Ovika. And then let's cast Hit the Mother Lode. This is going to give us a whole bunch of chump blockers. And we find Bombardment off the top. which triggers Ovika again. We can't finish our opponent outright. Let's just hang back for a second. We definitely have enough fodder to throw in front of the Rex. Okay, opponent didn't find land number 7. They mill and make a bear. We get Atraxa's Fall and Into the Fire. Alright, let's start off with a Make Your Own Luck. That's going to give us 5 tokens. We cast Hit the Mother Lode off a Bombardment. That's another 7 tokens. That finds Arcane Bombardment for another 6 tokens. And yeah, good game.